Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Race control, start of sprint shootout will be delayed. I guess there's a lot of rain. Woo, 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 woo. Whoa. I guess the Belgian, Circuit Spa in Spa-Francorchamps or whatever, Stavelot, it has a lot of city names and region names and has a lot of names. Why does it do all this shit? It doesn't say how long, what it's, when it will be yellow flag. That's probably just because it's delayed, I'm guessing. I don't know. Landon Norris is sitting there, mostly fire suit, but the top is just the jacket. He's just sitting high on a toolbox. Yoo-hoo! What's up, Neil? Thanks for the So I think you heard race control start of sprint shootout will be delayed. They usually almost immediately give a time, but I guess they can't. It's raining. I assume that the circuit is too wet, and that's why they're delaying it. But they're not saying what. I mean, when. So, but like I said, Lando Norris is sitting on top of a toolbox. He's got his fire suit on the bottom half of his body, but he just has a regular jacket zipped up on the top half of his body. And there's Fernando Alonso, about the same thing. He's got his hands crossed. Happy birthday, Fernando Alonso. 42nd birthday. "42 years old today." What's that mean, today? Of course, people are a certain age every single fucking day. Uh-oh. I said that within 7 minutes. Sorry about that. 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Man, I'm slipping. I am slipping, man. Share screen. Avatar. Arbiter or arbitrator? I guess I'm in one of those moods, but I just, people from England think they are just a yellow flag again. They must be testing something. Because I don't believe anybody, they're not showing tires yet. I don't think anybody's on the track. So they must be testing the yellow, I guess. So yeah, how you doing, Neil? How's it going? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. How you doing, man? Thanks for the wow, Formula E is still talking here. Where's my looks like the rain is going to quit soon. Let's hope. Let me see. Are they showing a third driver? Zhou Guanyu. He just has his anyway. Pierre Gast, everybody's in their different Pierre Gasly. Yoo-hoo! What the hell is the yellow flag? I wish they'd get rid of that. How's it going? Pretty good. Whatever. I'm about the same. Looks like the rain is going to quit soon. Let's hope. So this is on ESPN2. I assume you've found it somewhere. You, the magician. They've got anyway, Circuit Spa, or whatever this is called, is the longest circuit in Formula One. I think it's 7 kilometers, like 4.2 miles or something. And it's in Belgium, and I guess Belgium's known for rain and stuff. And there's a lot of elevation in the circuit. I guess it's bigger than, they referred to 2 UK. They said it's taller than Big Ben, and it's higher than the House of Representatives or something like that. So I guess that just means it's really high. So there's Daniel Ricciardo and a older woman behind him. He's not young, but I don't know if she's with him or Jackie X. He's in the Ferrari. ICYX. Okay, so it doesn't say it at the top of the TV, but one of the announcers just said that I want him to say it again. Anyway, the FIA Okay, they haven't repeated it. But FIA, let's see, who is that? Whose voice is that? That's anyway, it sounds like, I want it to be confirmed, but it sounds like the shootout is not going to happen. And the grid for the sprint will be set by whatever, owner's points or driver's points or however they're going to do it. 6:09. I mean, it's only 9 minutes late. It's a 44-minute session. It seems like, and Formula One is the top series. It seems like they could cancel. I don't know who's at this event, but I'm guessing it might be Formula 2, might be Formula 3, it might be Porsche Super Cup, and one or two other kind of supporting series, and their stuff can be canceled or delayed or shortened or all that kind of stuff. So I guess Formula E is finishing. Let's get rid of that. So, of course, all these TV personalities, they have all those radios going. They have FIA's radio going. They have all 20 teams, or all 20 drivers, all 10 teams radios going. They have all those radios going. And not that someone's sitting there listening to all those, but they have someone on staff listening to everything. Not one person, like 4 people doing 5 channels or something like that. So they hear everything live. So FIA has to discuss something before it becomes confirmed or finalized. So I'm sure they heard talk of this, but it sounds like it will be confirmed. I mean, but there's Christian Horner. Christian Horner is just standing there. And he's not, clearly he doesn't know it's been canceled. I don't know if it looks like they're getting ready. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a final test for FIA. So I'm sorry I prematurely. The guy was talking about it like it was finalized. I apologize that I even mentioned it. But we'll see what happens. But looks like they're getting ready. So So Otmar, who's been fired after this weekend, is not currently on the pit box. He's at the track. But anyway, I don't think they have stats like this. But if they did have stats like this, again, golly, should I even mention it? But, motorsports is a dangerous sport. People do risk their lives and their safety and their body. And, that's not Otmar's team. Why are they showing that team? Oh, well. Aston Martin has everybody on the whatever that's called. Anyway, if they had such stats as the most dangerous circuit or the deadliest circuit or anything like that, I do believe Circuit Spa would be probably number 1 by a mile. Like, by a ton. They just had a death there, a month ago or so of Formula 2. And Antoine was a year or 2 ago, and the other guy was 3 or 4 years ago, and those are just the famous people. So I think they have at least one a year, if not more. And I think it's the deadliest. So, if they were going to be hyper safe, it would be a good thing to do, because this is a competitive session. People are going to be going as, what's it called? Extreme wet tires, I think is how they describe them. Anyway, they have the blue tires, which are wet tires, and then they have the green tires, which are intermediate, which is kind of in between wet and dry. Intermediate, Why does the yellow flag keep coming on? Why are they testing that? They turn that effing thing off. So, okay, yes, a Ferrari driver has the complete fire suit on, the complete helmet on, and the Hans device. Man, their Hans device is like 8 inches long. I guess their cars are much smaller. That was a really small Hans device. I hope it does the... So anyway, yeah, the radar shows the big blue blob leaving the area, but I don't know what time that is. 11 o'clock. And that's 6 hours. So it's 12:15 now. 6 hours, so 12:15. Yuki Tsunoda's putting his stuff on, just as the soft head cover. And his fire suit is tied around his waist. So, yeah, he's still got some. Now, they're blowing stuff off. And that tractor is going really fast. I would say that tractor is going 35 to 45 miles an hour. He seems to be plowing down that circuit. And again, it's enormous. It's, 4.2 miles. Is that what I said? FIA is talking to Christian Horner. I would imagine he'd be one of the first persons to hear anything. Something 12:15:55. Oh no, that's local time. Ocon, I can tell by his gait. Of course, he's much taller than Gasly, so of course that's an easy one. But I Ocon just got into his car, but they're saying other drivers are already into their car. The steering wheel is not on yet. It takes them, quite a few minutes, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 minutes to get completely belted in. So they have to belt everything in before they put the... Holy moly, is that on the track? They have go-karts going. No, that's a mini track. It's a mini track inside the major circuit. No, lap over. Anyway, how you doing, Neil? I'm just trying to get this thing started. I'm just hoping Leclerc or Hamilton do good today. Yeah, I hope anybody but Max. But what's the thing? I guess Lando is really good here. He has a pole here, I think. Does he have a victory here? I guess Lando still has 0 victories, I think. I'm not sure. I don't want to misquote him. But I think Leclerc, I kind of have signed off on Leclerc. He's too inconsistent. When he shines, he really shines. But when he does, Leclerc! I don't know if that's a live picture, but he's got earphones on. Starting time. 16 minutes. So that's 6:35, which is 12:35 locally. 16 minutes. So I bet the other drivers don't want to sit in their car for 16 minutes, but Leclerc probably should have started getting going a little sooner. So I assume everybody puts on the wets. Like, you know, they put on the SQ1 will start at 12:35 local time. So in 15 minutes. SQ1. Harry Tesses. Hey, bro, can you follow me back on Twitter? I replied to your pinned tweet. Hi, I'm JoeHart. How are you, Harry? Tessicles. I guess you missed. Hi. I don't usually do things immediately. I usually try to do I have a bunch of Twitter accounts. I don't know which ones you went to. It's a joke name. Oh, okay. I'm not really big on those kind of jokes, but okay. Okay, what did you say? I think I only see likes and retweets. I replied. Oh no, I'll see a reply if you did it, but I don't know which account you did to. 12:35. What do we got? 14 minutes. Yeah, I got 3 accounts. The one doesn't show anything. My main account doesn't show anything. It's the one listed on your Twitch. Interesting track prep equipment. Cool. I didn't see it. What was it? Okay, Twitch. I'm not the most well-versed on all these things. NASCAR Inc. Yeah, that's my primary thing. Sifa! Hey, Sifa! How are you? So this is the sprint shootout. A huge delay. It's going to start at, man, my comment is gone already. Where is my comment? SQ1. Oh, that's a 1. That's not an exclamation point. It's supposed to be a 1. So this is the sprint shootout. So there's 3 qualifications. It's like a mini qualifying session. So there's 3 sessions, SQ1, 2, and 3. And SQ1 was supposed to start at 6, 23 minutes ago, and it's going to start at 6:35 in 12 minutes. There's a lot of rain, and it's in how you doing, Sifa? So Neil, what kind of track prep equipment? I missed it. That was yesterday, I think. Woohoo! I'm good. You? Pretty good. About the same. 6:24 a.m. So that's 4:24 in some parts of the country. There was a brush and a blower. Yeah. I'm so used to NASCAR where the pit marshal is dancing. I don't know why she's dancing, but she's dancing. And Sifa says, hey, Neil. And Neil says, hey, Sifa. Hey, hey, hey. Sergio Perez, no helmet, 12:35. He's got 10 minutes. If I was a driver, I'd already be sitting in the car, which plenty of drivers were in their car like 5-10 minutes ago. And Sergio's sitting there with no helmet. The top part, you don't usually see the bottom half of their fire suit. It's usually always on. Philippe Drogovic, reserve driver, Aston Martin. And I thought he was the one that shaved his head, but he's got a lot of hair. I got him confused with someone else. A Formula 2 driver. I forget his name. Ferrari. Tattoos. Ooh, golly. Hello. Yeah, Carlos Sainz. Probably the Spanish flag. I knew it was some kind of flag. Ah! So, okay, so this is a sprint weekend, which in 2021 there was one sprint race. In 2022 there was 3 sprint races, I think, and in 2023 there's going to be 6. And I think this is the 3rd of 6 or the 4th of 6. So it's becoming, I guess, Charles Leclerc. All of Charles Leclerc's, it's some extreme stat. I don't have it in front of me, but something like all his points or all his podiums or all his everything have only been in sprint weekends. So that's why Neil, that's probably why you mentioned Charles Leclerc. So yeah, he does excel greatly. God, that thing is enormous. This is the largest circuit in Formula 2. I'm sorry, in Formula 1. 12:35. What do we got? 8 minutes. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. God, they've got a ton of dirt. Their fans are on a lot of hills that are made of dirt instead of grass. I couldn't do mud. I couldn't do mud. Well, I can't really do rain. I mean, there's a lot of things I can do at tracks and a lot of things I can't do at tracks. Fernando Alonso, they're talking to him. That's not live, I'm sure. He's got to already be. By the way, I sent you a DM on Discord. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not. Cool, man. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Cool, man. You're incredible, Sefa. You are just incredible. So, yeah, I don't. No worries yet. I generally like, as people know, I still to this day, and it will probably be for the rest of my life. Nah, I just care about you. Well, cool. Thanks, Sifa. I appreciate that. But Twitter will always be my primary platform to do stuff. So that's where I like to ultimately get everything started or ended or continued, or that's where I want everything to happen. And that, I'm failing miserably at that, of course, because I'm not active and I'm not tweeting and I'm not doing a lot. But that's ultimately where I want to go. This thing is enormous. This circuit is enormous. By the way, this can be a watch along on ESPN2. If people have ESPN2, it starts in 6 minutes. So this is Neil sent me the format. Okay, Neil, I'm going to show your Discord thing. Wow, I just closed Discord. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Why do they show that? I don't want that on my screen. Mud, where'd you post that thing? Was that on? Where did you post that? All motorsports F1. Okay, let me see. Got it. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's see here. Wow, I'm still off screen. In your server under motorsports. Sorry. Thanks, Neil. Okay, so how do I show that? Okay, let's stop that screen. And let's present share screen. Window? Did I do window? Wow, I might be able to show this. Does this really work? Holy poop. Neil, is it okay to show this? I hope I'm not showing anything. Okay, so this is the sprint shootout format. It's just a shortened, everything smaller and shorter than this is basically a normal qualifying session, but it's everything shorter. So SQ1, which starts in 4 minutes, will be 12 minutes long, and then there's generally a 7-minute break. And then SQ2 is 10 minutes, and then SQ3 is 8 minutes. So for SQ1, all 20 drivers go out, and they just try to go their fastest lap. And the 5 slowest, at the end of that 12 minutes, the 5 slowest get eliminated. And then SQ2, 15 cars go out, and they try to do the fastest lap in 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, 5 cars are eliminated. And then during SQ3, 10 cars go out in the 8 minutes, and then they just try to get the fastest lap. They go for the pole. So, they're lining up. Sorry. And that's a green. Okay, that's a green tire. Shootout starts in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. That's a delay, of course. Holy moly. There's like 12 cars sitting in pit road just at they're doing the wave. Isn't that funny? So, what was I going to say? Oh, I want to see what tires everybody has. Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay, so anyway, let me, I'm going to stop that. Thank you, Neil, for that. That's so cool. And then, by the way, the sprint race, which is later today at 11 Eastern time, I think, probably in about 4.5 hours is the sprint race, I think. It's 15 laps instead of 44 laps. It's a sprint. It's much quicker. So let's see. Let's do stop, and then let's present. So where's the tires? How come they show no tires? I want tires. I'm going to refresh that in case the tires are in there. All 20 onboards via the Sky Sports app. I would love to figure out how to get Sky Sports in America. They blocked me on Twitter, but I would love to have, I don't know, those VPNs or whatever. I'd love to somehow get whatever, to somehow get Sky Sports completely available to me. Okay, so Lewis Hamilton's the first in the row, and he has green tires. So that's the second car I've seen. Green or intermediate. Blue is extreme wet. Those are the wet tires. And then green is intermediate. And then, red, is slicks and, all that. There's 3 slicks. There's a soft, medium, hard. So that I'm sure everybody's at least green, but I'd like to see if anybody's going to do blue. 55 seconds. That's with a time delay. So this is probably going to get going. I want to see the tires. I want to see the tires. Wow, a lot of them with the extreme wet tires. Where do you see that list? I want to see that list. I see about 7 of the 10 have green tires. So 7 of the 10 in line have intermediate. But I want to see it posted. I like when they show the stuff. I think they delayed so much. Anyway, I was trying to talk about Spa, Circuit Spa. It's in Belgium. They get a lot of rain, so it's very hilly. So the water drains a ton. Okay, what's that? Oh, I missed the color. Green, 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 green. The first 4 people are green. Okay, they just went. But that's with a delay. So, okay, here they are. Okay, now it's on the screen finally. I'm going to go off screen here. So 3, 6, 9. The first 9 are all intermediate. I'm guessing they're all going to be intermediate, but I don't know. We can wait. Okay, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 are intermediate. The other 10 don't show yet. So Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Hamilton, Russell, Bottas, Zhou, Sargent. Those are not in the order that they went out. So I think that's 11. 11 intermediates. Now it shows 3, 6, 9, 10. They show 10 in the garage. This is a pretty quick session. I don't know what time I showed. 12 minutes. Cool, man. Dry, intermediate, full, wet. Yeah, the dry right there is hard. So the white is hard. Yellow is medium and red is soft. So it's red, yellow, white is the dries. So I haven't seen a blue yet, but I don't know. I haven't seen a full wet yet. Doggone it. I thought those were the full wet. Yeah, that's fine. They're whichever they pick, I don't think anybody knows for sure which tire to pick. Oh, wait. For a regular qualification, Q1 must be a certain tire, Q2 must be a certain tire, Q3 must be a certain tire. But that's when it's dry. I think it has to be hard, medium, soft. The entire Q1 has to be hard. The entire Q2 has to be medium. And the entire Q3 must be soft, I do believe. That's for a regular qualification. I don't know if that's true with the sprint shootout. Probably, but I don't know. Hamilton Russell is on top, but they don't show any times yet. Oh, when are they going to show a time? Wow, that's a lot of intermediates. So Verstappen is last on the list. I can't see his tire. The other 19 are intermediates. Norris, Hamilton has the fastest segment 1 or sector 1. I guess it's called both. And then Norris has the fastest S2 sector or segment 2. And they don't show anybody as the fastest on S3. Bam, that's green. Aloe. They show aloe with no tire, but mine shows aloe. Oh. Okay, I can't see aloe. Alonso's off the screen. So I can't see Verstappen's tire, and I can't see Alonso at all. So Verstappen, I guess, has an intermediate according to the TV. Shootout, 8 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Still no times. Still no times. And this is a huge circuit. So it takes 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 minutes to get it up to speed, 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 minutes to do the lap, and 2 to 3, 4 minutes to get off. So it does take a lot of time. Oh, they just registered a time. What do we got here? Hamilton 202.297, Bottas 203.432, Russell 205.067. I think yesterday they got down to 148 and dry. Mid 150s was really common, and then 148 when Verstappen and everybody started getting really freaking fast. Joe 204.686. He's 4th out of 4. It looked better when he was. Wait, I'm sorry. He's 4th out of 5. It looked better when he was 3rd out of 4. But anyway, I like Joe. Leclerc 201.438. 0.85 seconds faster than Hamilton. Piastri. I like Piastri. He seems to be performing really well recently. Damn, there's a lot of moisture out there. What, the rooster tails? Yeah, I'm not looking at the rooster tails. Anyway, it's in Belgium. They get a lot of rain. There's a lot of what's that called? Elevation. And so I guess it drains a lot. Piastri. Damn, there's a lot of moisture out there. Yeah, I bet the 5 that are out are going to be uncommon names. I mean, they still have 6 minutes to go, but, and there's a lot of no times. But currently, the bottom 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Ocon. How come 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? So Ocon, Gasly, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Magnussen are the bottom 5, but they have no times. And Perez is the 16th. Perez just went to 3rd. So Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Gasly, and someone just disappeared. Ocon? Ocon went to 9th. So they're from 200 to 206 is 1 through 16. 2 minutes, 0.354 to 206. So Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Alonso are the bottom 3. Now, people with times, Zhou and Tsunoda are the bottom 2. They have times. And that's pretty common. Those are 2 pretty common people on the bottom 5. Magnussen and Hülkenberg are kind of, Alonso should be way higher. Although they're not doing, his whole team is not doing as well the last 3, 4, 5 races, which I'm bummed. They were my favorite team. Sorry, I'm off screen. Oh, my goodness. So, for qualifications, at least during the qualification session 1 and 2 before the final 3rd, but during 1 and 2, I really only care about the bottom 5. I don't care who's the fastest because they reset and they start over for the next session. Okay, where are we going? So, okay, 18 have times. Magnussen and Hülkenberg do not have times. So the bottom 3, Magnussen and Hülkenberg are the bottom 2 because they have no times. The lowest 3 with times is Bottas, Sargent, Zhou. That's pretty common. Zhou sometimes surprises us. Bottas used to surprise us. Sargent usually is always out the first round. Someone just went up. Bottas just went to 8th. So now it's Stroll. Stroll, Sargent, Zhou, Magnussen with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Race control, turn 8 incident involving 44 Hamilton and 1 Verstappen. Note it, impeding. Wow. Ooh. They're saying Hamilton did impede. Verstappen, 158.958. That's on an intermediate. He's 158. There's 3 in 159, and then about 6 of them in 2 minutes, 2:00. 2-minute warning. Magnussen, Hulkenberg, still no times. The bottom 3 with times, Norris, Stroll, Sargent. Verstappen, 158.958. Gosh, darn him. So the 2 Red Bulls are on top, then Hamilton, Sainz, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Gasly, Bottas, Ricciardo, Ocon, Tsunoda, Zhou, Alonso, Albon, top 15. And then the bottom 5, which is 3 with times, 2 with no times, Norris, Stroll, Sargent, and then Magnussen and Hulkenberg have no times. And, you know, they're Haas, so I'm sure they're saving tires or whatever they're doing. They're just doing their... No further investigation. That's good. Okay, so Hamilton was not impeding according to FIA. Hoo, hoo, hoo! Boy, I'm getting hunger pains. 37 seconds left, and they get to finish the lap they're on. So Magnussen and Hulkenberg are on an out lap according to the TV, which of course they ought to be, but 24 seconds, they better be well on the way to the checkered flag. Because if they don't make it to the checkered flag by 0:00, then they can't do a time. Once it hits 0:00, you can finish the lap you're on. So you have to start the lap to finish the lap. So they're showing Leclerc, Sargent, Albon, and Sargent is the only one under the bottom 5. Albon has the fastest S1. Go Albon! He's 16th. So currently, Albon, Norris, Stroll are the bottom 3 with times, and then Magnussen, Hulkenberg. Someone just went out. Albon went to 2nd. Yes! I like Albon. Alonso is in the bottom 5. Alonso, Norris, Stroll, Magnussen, Hulkenberg. What is Alonso doing? Alonso is still going. What do we got? With Stechter 2, he is behind by 0.227. Oh, he'll get up there. Alonso's 2nd. There we go. So Zhou, Norris, Stroll were the bottom 3 with times. Magnussen, Hulkenberg. Still no times. Don't know what they're doing. Hulkenberg, no time, and he's got a checkered flag, so he's done some reason. It looks like Hulkenberg's out. Don't know why, but on the TV, it's a checkered flag. Verstappen, 158.135. Oh, fun. 0.8 seconds to the 2nd place car. 0.8 seconds. That's a different stratosphere. Magnussen has a time, and he's 18th. Hulkenberg does not have a time. Magnussen is 18th with a time. So Tsunoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Zhou, Hulkenberg are the bottom 5 currently. Gasly just went up. Bottas and Zhou still show that they're out with doing a time. Now Bottas is the only one doing a time. That's with the time delay. He's pit. So I guess that's final. Sonoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg. George Russell's locking up. Sergio lets him through and then he drags racism. So I think that session's done. There's a 7-minute. So Sonoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg. Sifa, I'm still here, by the way. I'm just listening while I work on things. Cool, thanks. See how long I made it without, asking that? Joe, who are you wanting to win? Well, I am still basically media, so I would like to be as neutral as possible, but I have preferences. I would have to look at the list. Let's see here. I'll just go in order. I'll just address all 20 drivers in the order of Q1. They just finished SQ1, sprint qualifications 1 of 3 sessions. So anyway, Verstappen, I don't like anymore because he's a bully. He's dominating. I don't like him anymore. He's an okay guy. I like him, and I just don't like him. Hamilton, I used to despise because he was the dominating bully, but now he's not. So I would love for him to get better. Alonso's probably my favorite driver. Albon, I really like because he's with a really low quality team, and they just zeroed out all the times. But anyway, Albon, I really like. Perez, I used to love because he seemed to be the one that was able to not beat Verstappen, but he's Verstappen's teammate. But, he won like 2 races this year, and now he's just really choking the last 5 races. So I love him, but I'm pissed off at him. Leclerc, he never really did it for me. Ocon, I really like because he drives for a really huge underdog. Sargent's the only American driver. Number 9th there. He's usually in the bottom 2. He's usually 18th, 19th, 20th. So to be 9th is phenomenal. But they reset it. He has to redo it in SQ2 and SQ3. And, I don't think he'll be 9th. I don't think he'll get in the last session. But he might. Who knows? Anyway, he's the only American. And he's lousy. Horrible team. He's a new driver. He won't win for 5 or 7 years. But I love having an American in there. Gasly, I don't really like him. Piastri is he's doing really well. McLaren is going from, 8th place team to 5th place team. They keep waffling back and forth. Ricardo, I think I'm supposed to like him. I don't really care for him. Norris, I don't like him. I never really liked him. Stroll, I used to really dislike, but because his dad owned the business and he just drove because of his billionaire dad. But Alonso is his teammate, so I think I'm starting to like Stroll. Never liked Russell. Sonoda, I love, but he said it's a really bad team, and he gets fiery and gets pissed off, and he wrecks. Bottas, I used to like. Magnussen, I don't have any real opinion about him. Joe showed up a couple weekends ago, so that was really cool. Hulkenberg, I have no opinion about them. Magnussen and Hulkenberg, they drive for Haas, and Haas is the only American team. So Sargent's the only American driver, but Haas is the only American team. Their 2 drivers are not American, but they're an American team. Now, I dislike them because they had the Russian driver who I disliked. I have a lot of history with Haas. I love him in NASCAR. I've met him many times. I've talked to him. I've, not interviewed, I've talked to him and wrote about it. So kind of interviewed him many times. He's pretty down to earth. But he had the Russian driver who mauled, what's the word? Groped. He groped a female, and then he posted it. The driver posted the video. He groped a female and posted the video and was like, isn't this funny? We were drinking and so instantly I was like, he's dead to me. He has to be out. Well, it took him about 3 years to get rid of him because he had a billionaire daddy and they needed his money. Anyway, when Russia took over, when Russia declared war on, Ukraine, that's when Haas fired the Russian driver. They couldn't support the Russian billionaire daddy would be in political meetings with Putin, so they fired him then, not because of groping a female against her will. But anyway, so that's my long answer to that. I hope that answered you. And I guess I can give a summary. So I guess I would say my top three or four drivers, Alonso, Albon. Ocon just went to the top. I kind of like Ocon. And Sargent, he's an American. So top 5 are still in intermediate tires. Top 6. I'm sure all 15 are going to be in intermediate still, but they only show the top 7. So Ricardo, Hamilton, Ocon, Sargent just went to 8. So 8 of them are on intermediates. They're going to just slowly keep adding one as they go through the starting. So the ones not showing anything yet is their intermediate tires being shown is from last session. They're not showing the new session yet. And the 4 still not showing is Alonso, Albon. Now it's Alonso, Albon, Perez is the final 3 not showing. Now it's Alonso, Albon. So the other 13 drivers are still on intermediate tires. Like I said, I'm sure they're still. So intermediate is between dry and wet. No one used extreme wet last time for the first session. And so anyway, I still act like I'm media, so I still I love all 20 of my children the same. That's kind of the way I treat it. But I'm very opinionated about all the motorsports series. NASCAR and IndyCar and IMSA, and I'm not really neutral. No one is really neutral. I mean, if CNN and Fox News can fight incessantly about who's real news and who's fake news, and they're $1 billion, many millions of dollars corporation, then if they can't be neutral, why does poor little me have to be neutral? F that. I'm going to just cover it as a media person. Anyway, no times yet. Shout out to. I guess they mean shootout. Yeah, shootout. I think I said shout out. So shootout qualifying 2 is what that's supposed to say. Ricardo has the fastest S1 and S2. That's because he's the first driver, but he won't hold that for long. Let me see who's going. Ricardo's the fastest S3 just because he was the first one to do it. Anyway, the fastest S1 is Sargent with a few, 3 cars showing. Oop, I think they just took it. No, Sargent is still the fastest segment 1. Anyway, the circuit is divided into 3 sectors or segments: S1, S2, S3. It's like 3 different races. So you have the fastest time for the 1, which is 1/3 of the race. Fastest time for the second, 1/3 of the race, or 1/3 of the circuit. Alonso and Albon still are not showing as in this current session. No time. They're in the pits. Yellow flag. Let's watch what happens. I'm going to put the earbud on so I find out what happens. Yellow flag. It's still yellow, so it's probably not just a quick spin. Still yellow. For a yellow, the time keeps going. For a red, the time stops. Only for qualifying. Yellow flag, sector 3. It's not showing what it is yet. And it just went off the screen. But that was a long yellow flag. That was probably 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. So something pretty serious. It wasn't a quick spin. Someone couldn't restart the car. Looks like Williams, maybe? Can't see who it is. Green flag, track clear. Norris shows number 1, Rick number 2, and there's the only 2 with the times. That's with the time delay on the TV. So let's go over here. There's 5 people with times. Hamilton, Gasly, Norris, Ocon, Ricciardo. Like I said, for qualifying 1 and 2 of 3, we don't care about who's the fastest. We care about the 5 slowest. So with no times, of course, it shows Sargent, Piastri, Stroll, Alonso, Albon. Whoa, Stroll's on medium tires. Stroll is on a dry tire. Stroll is on a medium tire. Stroll is on a medium tire. He's the only one so far. Whoa, Sargent. Wow, that was, woo. He did a 900 degrees. He did 2.5 turns. So Alonso and Albon are still showing current, so they're intermediate. So Stroll is now officially the only car with mediums. There's still, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. So others could go to the pits and change their tires. Did I say medium? 2-minute warning. I hate their 2-minute warning because it's red and it looks like it's a red flag. So, okay, 11 cars have times. So the 11th car is currently out, which is Ricciardo. And then the other 4 cars don't have a time yet. Sargent, Alonso, Albon, Stroll. Stroll's on medium. Verstappen is 155.200. It's too early. Fuck, said Stroll. I don't know if it was the F word, but he was saying something. I guess they're trying to get Stroll in. Box. They didn't say box, but they're implying that. Holy moly. Still, the bottom 4 don't have any times. 55 seconds to go. So once the time gets down to 0, they can still finish the lap they're on. Sargent, Stroll, Alonso, Albon. Neil A. driving to Walmart right now. Cool, man. You mean right now? Is this in your car? Hey, thanks, Neil. Right now? Cool. Hello to Neil's car or whatever your transportation is. That was a yellow and then it changed quickly. So I'm sure that was a quick spin and they restarted their car. I just guess about yellows. I like to see them. Because of time delays. Whoa! Holy shit! Stroll went right into the... Oh, that's really bad news. His tire's off. Red flag. 29 seconds to go. No one can... With 29 seconds to go, no one can get out of the pit road and get a lap. They have to cancel. They won't. They haven't done yet. This is from my car, and I'm about to pull into Walmart right now, and I'm going to hopefully get some steaks. 6 o'clock. That's 4 minutes ago, like you told me. Get a dozen for me. he knew it was too early, but you're still the person in the car. You still need to go slower if you can't handle the track. Yeah, SQ2 will not be resumed. Yeah, with 29 seconds, you can't do anything. Okay, this is a harsh hit. Let's show what they show. He was so tentative, but he was going too fast. Ah! Okay, so the 5 eliminated because they're not going back to SQ2. Ricardo, Albin, Sargent, Stroh, Alonso. 4 people with no times. Alonso's out. No time set. God damn it. How many people? So 4 of the 5 cars out have no time. Then that's not even a real qualifying. So Albin, Sargent, Stroh, Alonso out. Ricardo's out on time. Okay, I think we had to do what we had to do. I didn't expect anyone to do mediums, though. Albin. So I wonder if anybody's going to do anything but intermediate because we have time. You know, the track is only getting drier. But, Stroh had a big wreck, and he was the only he was the only one on dry tires. He had the mediums, slicks. Ah! Okay. I'm getting pretty hyped up today. So anyway, we don't care about the top 10 because their times are all reset and everybody can do a new lap again and get no time like last. Anyway, the top 10 were Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Gasly, Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, Ocon, Russell. So those 10 are now going for pole. For the third session, now we only care about the people on top. We don't care about the bottom 5 because no one else is eliminated. So qualifying session 3, which is the final qualifying session, is 10 cars. They just go for the fastest lap for the pole. So let me see. Verstappen expected. Hamilton is expected. Perez is expected. Gasly, that's punching a little higher than he normally would be. Leclerc is expected. Piastri is expected. Sainz is expected. Norris, he's inconsistent, but I'd say that's fairly expected. Ocon, I would say that's... Oh, and that's the same team. So Gasly is 4th. Ocon is 9th, and that team, I do believe, had double DNFs for the last 2 or 3 races. Alpine is doing really poorly recently. So that's cool to be 4th and 9th. And then, again, their times are reset all over again. So, and then Russell is 10th, and, that's... So I guess they're all expected except maybe Gasly and Ocon, maybe. And the 2 that probably should have been the Alonso, of course, and then Stroh. God, both of Aston Martin are out. I want to get the average of Aston Martin. That's too bad. They're one of the... So, Neil, I'm sure you're in Walmart now, but I'm hoping you're safe in your car. I hope that was a lot of words on your last post, so I hope you did it by your voice. I hope you didn't type all that, unless your car was parked. But, I mean, and you can do whatever you want. I'm just talking about myself. I would like you to be safe, if you could. That's an enormous circuit. They're showing Stroh being driven back by a moto. They're going to show it again. This is a really harsh smack. So he takes a right. He gets a little loose. He's going to take a left, but he goes straight. They did not officially say it's a wet track for today's session. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton on the intermediates was driving off the drive line to cool down his intermediate tires. So everybody's like, "Oh, it's dry now." Ah. Okay, it seems like 7 minutes is up. No, I don't know how long it's been. I wish I knew that flag. I don't know that flag. I don't think it's Spain, but it's very colorful, and there's a lot of them. It could be a team's flag, but I don't think it is. I think it's a country's flag. Race control, SQ3 will start at 13:15, which would be in 3 minutes with a time delay. 13:15. And it goes for a really quick amount of time. 8 minutes. If you went out immediately and immediately got up to speed and you did a timed lap and then you immediately started going back into the circuit, back into the pit road, I do believe, I'm just guessing on a time, but I do believe that is all of 6 minutes. So there is very little extra time here. Certainly not for a second lap. I mean, I'm sorry, you can do a second lap immediately, but they usually like to cool down a little bit before the next fast lap. They usually like to do fast, slow, that kind of stuff. Where is this? Belgium. Wow. Holy moly. Lando Norris. That sucks. They didn't declare it officially as a wet track, so there's all this tire bullshit going on. So on TV, it shows 48 seconds to go, but on here, I'm sure it's going to start sooner. It was intentionally not called a wet track, so that people had to stick with what tires I guess it's medium, medium, soft for Q1, 2, 3. Oh, 5 seconds. So I guess it's already started. Okay, yeah, there it is. 2, 1, 0. So that it looks like there's a 27-second delay. None of them look like they have gone out. Leclerc is out after 43 seconds. Sainz. Oh, Leclerc's on soft. Sainz is soft. 5. Piastri's on oh, nope. Okay, that was incorrect. The top 6 are soft tires. The bottom 4 haven't shown. They're not shown in this session yet. It shows Hamilton as intermediate, but I assume that's going to change. Soft. It did change. Russell changed the soft. So Verstappen and Perez are the only 2 not showing in this session yet, and they show intermediate. The other 8 are soft. So since they did not declare it, if they declared it a wet track, then teams can choose any dry tire they want at any time, I think. But when it's not declared a wet track, they only can use medium, medium, soft. Medium and for first and second session, and only soft for the. This is weird. Yeah. $6:14. That's with the delay. Let's see what the screen says here. 5 minutes, 38 seconds to go. Sainz is the fastest S2. That's because he's the only one showing a time. Norris is now the fastest of S2. There's nothing shown on S1. Sector or segment. I think sector and segment are the same, but they show them differently. So in live timing, sectors has a tab and segments have a tab, and they appear to be 2 different things. Don't know why. Verstappen has the fastest S2. Leclerc has the fastest F3. But Sainz hasn't, Verstappen hasn't shown up yet. No times yet, but this is a huge track. So as far as the poll goes, I want anybody but Verstappen. My preference would be Perez or Piastri or Hamilton, but really anybody but Verstappen. That won't happen. If I had $1 million, I would bet all $1 million that it will be Verstappen on the poll, which sucks. I hate that. Still no times, I don't think. Let me go off screen here. See if I can see more. Still no times. Hamilton has the fastest S1. Verstappen has the fastest S2. They don't show anyone as S3. Leclerc has the fastest S2. He took it away from Verstappen. Yippee. Leclerc is not doing as well. He's not consistent. He's a pretty good driver. It's a pretty good team. Ferrari is, very famous in F1, but they're not doing exceptionally well now. And anyway, I don't know the exact stat. I was talking about it earlier, but I do believe it's something along the lines of, okay, Leclerc has a 152, Sainz has a 155. 2.8 seconds. And then Norris is number 1. Leclerc is almost a second behind. How the hell can he do that? Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Gasly. Top 5 have times. Top 6 have times. Hamilton is number 1. Verstappen still doesn't have a time, and I'm sure he'll blow everybody away. I'm sure he'll be 140 something. So Hamilton is 151.198. Oh, Verstappen is 151.286. That's not his final lap. I'm sure he has one more. God. Would that be possible? What do we got? 2-minute warning. So 1 minute and 56 seconds to go. God, would that be Verstappen's last? So it looks like Hamilton provisionally, at least provisionally, has the pole. So all 10 have times. Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Gasly, with 1 minute and 27 seconds to go. 3 at 151, 2 at 152, 2 at 155, 157, 207, 208. That's a huge variance, all on soft tires. 17 seconds. You have to be within 107%. I don't know when and how and stuff, but there's something about you don't automatically get into the race if you're not within 107% of the fastest car. Gasly and Ocon are way off. They are not within 107%. God, wouldn't that be great if Hamilton, although Hamilton had the pole last week and I got fooled for a couple of minutes that, boy, that might actually mean something. And of course it didn't. Max won the race, but we can dream, can't we? I hate dynasties. I hate domination. Now pick up the pace. He's telling Max to pick up the pace. I bet Max under his breath. Not under his breath. I bet he said F you verbally. Perez is number 1. 150.303. 9/10 faster almost than Hamilton. Shit. I guess Verstappen probably has another lap too. God damn it. Come on. Perez is okay, but usually if Perez is doing good, Verstappen will just beat him just by a little bit or a lot of bit. So I'd rather it be Hamilton. Anyway, I'm sure Hamilton and Verstappen both have another time to get a time. Leclerc's still kicking butt. Let's see what he's doing. Leclerc has the fastest. Segment 1. Sainz has the quickest. Norris has the quickest. It just changed to Norris. S2. Gasly, 149.700. He's number 1. I'm sure that's because the track is getting drier, not because Gasly's faster. Fuck, that means everybody's going to be in the 140s. There's Sainz, 149.081. Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Gasly are all 149. Perez is 5th. Hamilton is 5th. Shit. Piastri's number 1. Where's Verstappen? God damn it. He's going to blow them all away. Verstappen, number 1. I hate him. I don't know who else can come in. On the time delay, there's Hamilton, Verstappen, Pia, Russell. Pia gets fastest, but we already know that. Verstappen got the fastest. Now Russell's the only one left with a time, which I probably has already happened with the time delay. Boo. Huh. So Verstappen is 149.056. Piastri plus 0.011. 11 thousandths of a second. Sainz 0.025, 25 thousandths of a second. And then Leclerc 0.195, almost 2/10 of a second. Norris 0.3, Gasly 0.6, Hamilton 0.8, Perez 0.9, Ocon 1.4, and Russell 6.6. Which will not be within 107%. But I think he's still invited. I don't know how that works. Something about. Oh, no, okay. A minute would be 7 seconds, and 2 minutes would almost be 14 seconds. Oh, he is within the 107. I guess a 107 is really bad. Oh, darling. Okay. Let's go, Leclerc. I think it's time for a little cup of coffee. You go, boy. Cool, Neil. That sounds good. Not boy. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Piastri radio. They're clapping. Good job. P2. Piastri said a really long cuss word because he was 11 thousandths of a second away. Ah. Well, that's it. The session's over. I'll look at my free weather in Stavelot. So on my moderate rain warning until 8 p.m. So let's see here. Right now, it is 1:28 in the afternoon at Stavelot, which is where Circuit Spa is. And so what's that, 1:28? So 3 p.m. is 40%, 5 p.m. is 30%. So they might be dancing around raindrops. So I think it's closer to 5. I think it starts at 5. Oscar Piastri, second. So anyway, the way I usually always watch Formula One. I may not always stream Formula One. I mean, I don't stream the race, of course. I stream what I'm doing now. But it so Max is talking to Signs. Is Signs top 3? Why is he standing there? Is he on the podium? Signs is 3rd. Verstappen, Piastri, Signs. It's top 3. Ah! NFL on they've changed the TV show already. Ah! Let me turn this off. All right, guys. What we got? 2 on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. All right, Neil and Sifa and my Twitch visitor. Oh, I don't want that. I want to be charging my phone. I hate those. It's not a new phone anymore, but I hate it when Apple went to that their earbud was through your charger thing at the bottom of the phone. I hated that. And like I said, this is an old phone now, but so that happened probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I still can't stand it. Anyway, it was my earbud. I thought I was charging the phone. And I know most people are going to wireless, but I don't, I like wired. I've done wireless a couple times, but it's just too much to do at once. Okay, what was I checking? I was going to check something. Oh yeah, my alarm. Because I might go back to sleep. $10:30. So 9:45. Okay, so the sprint is at 10:30 for 44 minutes? No. It's from 10:30 to 11:30. I don't know when green flag is or lights out. Hi, Mickey. How you doing? You want to say hi first? JoeHart too. Have a good stream. 100 viewers for easy. We'll get viewers. So 50 cents will get me 100 viewers. Holy moly. I want followers on TikTok. That's what I want. I need 200 of them. Neil, did you have your coffee yet? Okay, so I'm going to head out. I doubt if I'm going to stream the sprint, but Neil, you can poke and prod me if you want. Maybe I'll do it. You can post your TikTok in my Discord. Oh, cool, man. Thanks. Sweet, man. Where would that go? Of course. Sweet. I'm still learning your. I think it's the. Probably not the streets, right? Probably the YouTube creators. You can put it in the streets if you want. Okay, cool. And like I said, I'm not opposed to doing what some people do. I'm not opposed to that stuff. Whichever. Okay, cool. That's Hawk Verstappen, Neil. Amen. Did you get your steaks? Neil, welcome back to Hawk Verstappen. He is a jerk face, isn't he? I might make a section just for TikTok videos. Don't do it on my behalf. I'm not there enough to make a difference, but I'm getting better. I'm getting more acclimated, and there's people I really like, and Tracy and Daisy. So yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. But cool, man. Look at that picture. Where is this? You're cutie doggy. That's the streets. Oh, don't talk about chocolate. I got a round roast and 2 packs of sockeye salmon, 18 eggs, 4 apples, and a dark chocolate bar. Way to go. So a round roast and salmon, those were the sales you found? It's 7:39, so I'm too late to go to Walmart at this time. But someday, which when I say someday, that means it'll never happen. But someday I would like to set an alarm and go and be at Walmart at 5:58, right when the door opens, and go in and see if that's true at my store too. That would be cool. But you're a little cutie doggy. That's a really cute picture. Yes, sales. That's cool. Good job. So, Seth, that's a great picture. You know what I love about the picture, besides the dog being really cute, but what I love about the picture is the dog is engaging. I think it's a he, right? Oh, she. Yeah, she has some of the cutest expressions, but she's engaging. She is looking at the camera. She is engaging with you. You know, she's saying, "Hi, Dad." You know, so it's she's engaging. She is staring that camera in the eye to eye. That is a cute doggy. Yeah, that's cute. All right, I'm beat. Yeah, she is. What a cutie bear. Hoot live qualifying. Ah! Okay, let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I think Formula E is going right now. $8:45. Something starts at 8:45, so I guess I'm wrong. Starts at an hour and 4 minutes. Something does. I don't know what does. Damn it. Where is this thing? Formula E ends this weekend. It's a doubleheader. People use different words to mean different things. For Formula E, a doubleheader means two races in the same weekend. So there was one, and it's usually Saturday, Sunday. So I think it's this morning in London, or, you know, it's 5 or 6 hours ahead, probably 5 hours ahead. So it's probably this afternoon and evening. But I don't have the schedule in front of me. I just got a notice about it. What was that? I could have sworn it said something going live now. So I don't know if anybody's following that Alicia Navarro. I don't know how to say her name. The 14-year-old that was gone for 4 years, and then she showed back up in Montana, 18 years old. You know, she's on the spectrum, and I was a foster parent, so I dealt with many people on the spectrum. But there's just not enough details yet what happened, and I don't care about the mother. You know, I think it's fine that the girl is 18, so now she's an adult, so she doesn't have to go back to Arizona and stuff. And I mean, I don't think the mother abused her, but you know, it just seemed. Anyway, I don't care about the mother. What I care about is a 14-year-old does not go off the grid for 4 years without some adult help. And I would even say, and she's cute, she's attractive, and she's quite developed for her age. I mean, physically developed, which so many scumbucket males look past that. Or don't mind what her, mental and emotional level is. They just care about that stuff. And anyway, yeah, they're and again, I would go as far. I would go as far to say, I would go as far to say a groomer. Someone was grooming her. So, wow, what a deal! What deal did I say? I don't know even what I said. But thanks for telling me it was a good deal. Wow, what a deal! I don't know what I said. But yeah, hopefully more will come out. And they're being, first they wouldn't even say what city in Montana it was, and then they did. And Havre, which I think I stopped in Havre, Montana, when I drove up to Idaho. And I even thought there was a Love's truck stop. There isn't. There's one 107 miles away. But Havre did. That's a significant city for me on my trip. I don't know why. Something happened in Havre. So I didn't go to the police station and I didn't look for a 18-year-old. But yeah, Havre, Havre. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. But so it took them a while to say that, and then they said that, and then they, but anyway, yeah, I mean, a lot of males are dogs. And a lot are males. And it could be, I mean, okay, I'm open to the idea that it could have been a very mature 16-year-old or 17-year-old or 18-year-old that encouraged her to go off the grid. So, it could have been a male, and I think it's a male. She's cute. She's a really cute girl. And the real dogs of men come out because she was quite developed. For her age, she's quite developed. And so anyway, I hope more comes out. I hope she was not abused. I did see her interview, and I don't know why they won't even say what town it was in Montana, and they were showing interviews with her, which I was like, holy shit, who put that out? And it looked like one of the two cops that were talking to her put it out. I can't believe they put her, but she is 18, so they don't have to get extra permission now. They can just ask her. But it was if I was the cops, I would not have put that interview out. It was just a portion of it. But I mean, they said, well, really, we just care about your safety. Did anybody abuse you in any way? And she said, no. And she seemed distracted, and she's high functioning in autism. So there's always quirks with that. But there's a lot of high functioning autism people that can be high functioning. So anyway, I feel for her. I hope she figures out what she's doing. I hope the groom, 4 years is a long time. And 14 years old to 18 years old is a very impressionable age. So this groomer could have, I don't want to say brainwashed her, but got her comfortable. I mean, some people are saying it's the Stockholm syndrome, and I don't think it's that. I just think yeah, it is. Anyway, I don't know what I said, Sifa, but okay, yeah, it is. Who knows? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who that groomer is. And, supposedly they had 10 people pull this one male out of the same apartment complex that she was at for a while, or that she was spotted at. But they say that has nothing to do with that case. Anyway, I know I'm on Formula One right now, but anyway, it's my stream. I guess I can talk about anything. So it was an interesting in the interview they showed. I hope they don't show more of that until they get who knows? Yeah. And she's 18. She can stay in Montana. Who's that effing groomer? Let's find the groomer, find out what they did. And like I said, there can be, and I wouldn't say I was ultra responsible, but I was pretty responsible. Or, there's many aspects of me of being very irresponsible, but aspects of me that was very responsible when I was 10, 12, 14, 16 years old. So like I said, someone could have been ultra responsible and said, hey, I know you want to leave your house. Why don't we leave your house and then go 1,000 miles away and set up shop for 4 years? And who knows? She might have traveled, but again, I think people would have noticed the 14-year-old girl if she's with a Find the groomer. I don't mean to laugh. That's not funny. Yeah, you're right. Find the groomer. We need to find that groomer. And I don't necessarily mean groomer like he's a pedophile and he needs to be thrown in jail, but it's probably not too far off from that. But I think groomers can be not super sleazy. I think it can be really marginal shit that they did. So anyway, I don't want to just say he's a pedophile, but what brief interview I saw, she seemed to be deflecting questions, and she's high functioning autism. And I'm really good at reading autism, but not through one camera and a second camera and a third camera and a fourth device and a fifth device. I'm not really good at all that stuff, but she seemed to be deflecting or defending who the cop was asking about. And the cop didn't say, who's your groomer? But the cop said, did anybody ever abuse you in any way? And in any way can mean psychological, emotional, mental, physical, sexual, can be anything. And there are plenty of 14-year-old males and females that are hypersexualized themselves. No one has to hypersexualize them at all. That they themselves are. So anyway, but that's not, you can't use that as an excuse. When they're underage, they can't consent. So you can't say she consented. She can't consent when she's underage. But anyway, and I know mommy wants her back, but I think I was a little unclear where mommy, if any of y'all know, where mommy actually got to touch her and saw her and met her and stuff. There was a time, they said it was overly emotional and blah, 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 blah. Because the girl feels bad about causing pain to her mother. That's what she feels bad about. But anyway, I wasn't sure. It sounded like that was in Montana, but I'm not sure. It might be in Arizona, but I don't think the girl's gone to Montana. I don't think she's gone back to Arizona yet. She's 18. And this groomer has, I won't say brainwashed, but they certainly have not Stockholm syndrome, but, it's not a cool situation. It's not a cool situation. I mean, she's free to choose whatever she wants. And the age of consent is not 18 in most states. I don't know if everybody knows that, but the age of consent in most states is 16. There are some states that it's 14. There's some that are 15. There's some, the most are 16. There's one or two that are 17. And there's like 3 or 4 that it's 18 years old. So the age of consent, people are messed up because of movies and, the internet. Once you do cross a state line, then it does become national or international. So then it does become 18 years old. But that's not always true. If she was in, when you cross a state line, then it does become 18. I think is the way it works. But the age of consent is, she could be. So anyway, I think, and that's not I empower people pretty early in life, and I did that with my children and stuff, and I think it worked out. They were more responsible than me. So but no, I would, if I was the judge or the police or whatever, I would let that child, whatever it's called that she does amnesty or not amnesty, where she becomes, at 14, she becomes her own standalone adult, whatever that's called, where you not amnesty. I think it begins with an A, but you do something with your parents. So I would tell her, if they found her at 16 or 17 or whatever, they would say, you can stay in Montana. Emancipation. Thank you. Yeah. So I would thank you. Thank you for helping me out. So, anyway, let's get rid of that. So yeah, it's, And I don't think she tried to do that. And again, I don't think the mother was abusive, but it just, the mother, and she didn't try to do a GoFundMe. You know, the mom didn't do anything horribly atrocious. I think, in a way, if I could make a broad statement, I would say my experience, and I've dealt with a lot of people on the spectrum, as a foster parent, as a therapeutic foster parent, as uh, a substitute teacher, as a guardian ad litem or whatever that, the lawyer for them. I've been in a lot of. You feel like she knew where her daughter was? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She had no idea where her mother was. And that's my opinion. I don't know what you feel. Feel free to make your opinion. You feel like she knew where her daughter was? No, I'm not saying, I'm not, and I don't know what I'm saying about the mom, but she just, it was, anyway, what my bold statement was going to be, my experience with being on the spectrum is I think most parents and foster parents and most foster parents and parents have no idea how to deal with someone on the spectrum. So I don't think she's built for that. And I think she has other kids, and I don't know the details. I think she had like several kids. I think she had more than 3 kids in the household, and some were younger, and so it's hard to do all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to say the mom is a bad person, but I wouldn't readily say, oh, send the kid home. And the kid's 18, so no one can do anything with that child. Now if they charge her with anything, which I don't think they're going to charge the child with anything. I think both police departments have said she hasn't done anything wrong as of yet. That more things could come out maybe, but so they can do that. Where one state says, will you send them back so we can charge them with a, so I think she can be made to go back for that if someone is charging her, but I don't think she'll be charged with anything. So I would say, no, leave her in. She was in Montana for some reason. And the groomer, whatever the groomer did, was able to convince her that she's an okay person, and, that the groomer's okay and she's safe around the groomer. And she did it for 4 years. I mean, there's lots, being on the spectrum or not, being 14 or not, I think there's always opportunity to escape your captor if you're being held against your will. I think there's always ways to escape. Going to Walmart, going to the grocery store, sneaking out of the basement where they have all the windows blocked up. There's tons of ways to escape. So anyway, I don't know why I keep going on about her, but I probably need to do more research, find out what the current scope is. But I want the groomer, and I don't, golly, I don't want to sensationalize the groomer. I want the groomer to be held responsible and liable for what they did. And, the age of consent, if you're within a year or 2, then they look the other way. There's a lot of things that, I know there's all those things. So anyway, so I think Sifa, you're just asking me a question, but did you think the mother knew where her daughter was? Now, like I said, I don't think the mother did. There are some parents that have sold their children because a groomer wanted the child. And I know things like that happen, but no, I wouldn't say that's here. I don't think she. I have no idea. Right, and I kind of have no idea either. I've done a lot of research, and I tried to learn about both the police departments. And that interview, and it was just a portion of the interview, but that cop ought to be effing fired. They ought to not put that interview out until everything gets cleared up. And just because she suddenly turned 18, you don't have to immediately treat her like an adult. You can say, hey, maybe I shouldn't post this and stuff. So anyway, what was Neil's thing? Find the groomer. Hashtag find the groomer. And I don't mean to laugh at that, but thank you, Neil. You're probably gone by now, Neil. He needed his coffee, he needed to put his rump roast away. So, okay, I'm going on too long. So, let's hope she continues to be safe. And I'm heading to bed, I think. Yeah, 6 a.m. Golly, holy moly. Okay. Well, yes, hopefully. Yes, please. Oh, that she's doing okay. Well, I'm hopefully you go to bed too. But yeah, hopefully. I mean, this kind under perfect scenario, under a perfect scenario, she will need counseling for a foreseeable 5 to 10 years. Under perfect scenario, she's away from her mother. She's away from her family. Is for 4 years, 14 to 18, is really impressionable, very developmental too. And so yeah, under perfect conditions, she needs some help. So let's hope she gets that, and hopefully she has a network in Montana or in Arizona, or all that kind of stuff. But yeah, speaking of messed up parents, I wonder where that one. I think he was 15 years old. The boy he was gone for like 5 years, but he was in the same neighborhood or whatever, and his mother may have abused him. There's, I don't have that. Rudy, is that the 15-year-old boy? I think that is his name. Wow, you got that from my limited this. Yeah, I wonder. She seems. Oh, Rudy is his name. Okay, cool. Yeah, that mother seems pretty effed up. Whether she did the sexual stuff, or you're going to be my daddy, or that kind of stuff, and you must sleep in the bed with me, and you must hug me under the covers, and whatever she did, it seems really effed up, whether it was truly sexual or not. Yeah, she does. So let's hope she burns in hell, or it seemed like, and with those, like I'm skeptical at best about the human race, and if that mother does that, then that mother's sister probably does kind of messed up things too. So, there's one aunt in particular that talks about burn in hell. Amen. Burn in hell. No matter what she did, it's really fucked up. But anyway, there's that one aunt in particular, one that always cries when she does interviews. She kind of wants everybody to think that she's perfect and she could take care of the child if she was allowed to. But I, the apple doesn't fall far from the apple tree. I think, and I mean, I'm pretty messed up, and I guess all my siblings are not as messed up as me, but they're all different. I mean, we certainly have quirky and idiosyncratic siblings for sure. But anyway, like for foster parenting, the first choice is family. So if the parents lose the child, they think of grandparents and aunts and uncles. And I'm like, they didn't learn to be an alcoholic from a vacuum. They learned to be an alcoholic from their parents, which are the grandparents, so, I'm pretty skeptical. Anyway, whatever. That's me. I'm going to have to start doing streams about the presidential caucuses, and that's going to get here sooner than I think. Wow, it's July 29th. I think July 26th, 3 days ago, was the first day that Idaho 4 was supposed to start. I think it was supposed to start on July 26th, and then that changed to October 2nd, which won't happen either. Those dates aren't going to. But anyway, that was going to be forever in the future. That will never happen. That's how I look at time. More needs to be done to protect kids, for sure. I mean, it's and I get the foster parenting system. They're overworked, they're understaffed, they're underpaid, they're underappreciated. You have to, you can't hug anybody. You have to put your hands up, and if the child hugs you, you can't hug back. And I think there's a lot of messed up things about this stuff. But golly, at least try. At least try to place them into a somewhat safe environment. And I saw some pretty messed up things. I really did. I was picking up kids from houses and dropping them off at houses. And, the one grandmother that was in charge of, she was coming around me and showing her tatas to me and stuff like that. And I'm like, holy poop, woman, I'm the one voting whether you get to keep the kid. And I'm male. I was being distracted by her, of course. But yeah, it is just too bad that. Yeah, I mean, she and I was the one voting. I was the one deciding whether the child was going to be there. And I was like, Grandma, don't do that. Don't do that. Maybe at 6 months we could date or have sex or whatever, but not, and I wasn't pursuing her, and I didn't want to pursue her, and but I'm weak. I'm weak. Well, I don't blame you for being distracted. I'm a weak male when it comes to females, for sure, especially breasts. But anyway, anyway, boy, I'm all over the place. So I am too. Don't worry. Cool, man. So, all right. So what do you got? 8:07. The qualifying is at 10:30. What is the Formula E? I guess I want to confirm when the Formula E is. F-I-A-F. Times displayed in your time zone. How do they figure out where I am? I don't get that. Qualifying is live now. CBS Sports app, cbssports.com. Why can that not work? Usually my most favorite, more so than the races, qualifying is usually my favorite. Practicing isn't have the pull that it used to have. But qualifying is still pretty cool in my opinion. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So what do we do? Let's do live. CBS, let's see if it really is on. I think I have to go to the app. I don't think I can watch it. CBS Sports Network. Nope. Let's see if it really is on. So pickleball is really getting popular. They're showing a lot of that. CBS Sports app. I'm going to the app on my TV, which is different than the app on my London qualifying. Is it going to ask for my freaking... I don't like sandwiches, but that's a great commercial. Nikki Shields, my goddess I'm in love with in Formula E, is preggers as all get out. She's still very cute, but hey, there's nothing on the screen. It doesn't show what channel it is or anything. Maybe I could show that. No, I better not show it. But oh, the FIAE in the lower right, but no channel, no TV channel on the screen. Why is the screen so empty? Why did he mention that? That's weird. He says he's wearing green, but he's not supporting Envision. It almost sounded like he was criticizing them instead of being neutral. Jules. So in the UK, in case you don't know, joules equals joules. I don't know why they say that. Joules. Joules equals duels. But they don't say duels, they say joules. Joules. So this is the last weekend for Formula E. It's in London. It's that's where they're based out of. I have, for a moment or two, have entertained getting a job in Formula E or Formula One, and they're both based in London. And they both require you to be, I don't know how it's, I don't have it right in front of me, but it's either, it's not, you don't, it's not like you have to have a visa. I forget how they quote it. Something like you have to be able to work in UK or something like that. And I want to do it remote. But anyway, Stoffel Van Dorn. They're not showing the. Let's see here. So I don't totally understand it. I think it's 22 drivers. All 22 drivers go out in two different groups, 11 and 11, and then they get the 8 fastest, I think, 4 and 4. And then they do duels. Duels is the way that word is pronounced, but they say jewels. It starts in 1 minute and 20 seconds, but that's probably with a little delay. Probably not too much because this is it's an app. Anyway, London is fairly unique that some of the track is indoors and some of the track is outdoors. So, okay, Van Dorn, Evans, and then Rast, Dennis, and then Ticktum and Boime and Verline and Cassidy. That's the 8. That's the quarterfinals. Van Dorn, Evans, Rast, Dennis, Ticktum, Boime, Verline, and Cassidy. They do the first 2, and then winners of, the semifinals are 4 of the 8, and then final is 2 of the 8, and then 1 gets the pole. So I don't like I don't think it's the fairest way to do qualifying, but they do it. So predictor vote, which I think are fans, they're saying 85% says Evans and 15% say Van Dorn. Van Dorn came from Formula One, and he always gets the driver's vote for their favorite, but I don't think people think he's going to win. Mitch Evans is really good, generally. Green for Van Dorn. And I think 10 seconds later it goes for Mitch. I don't know. Let's see here. I don't know what's on the screen. What's it showing? They seem quite separated. Tata, TCS. Tata is something, either the, what's it called? Chassis. I think Tata is the chassis. So this is on CBS Sports app. And sometimes when they say CBS Sports app, they really mean CBS Sports as a channel on if you have that channel. And sometimes it is there, but most of the times it's not. Formula E, I think, has done very poorly on getting onto good TV. I'm always critical about any motorsports series getting on the TV. And even Formula One, which is the richest and the biggest and the most famous and blah, 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 biggest budget, blah, 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 blah. They still can't post for sure what ESPN channel it's on more than 2 weeks in advance of the event. And I'm like, God, it's Formula One. They should have top choice. Or if they don't have top choice, then whatever choice they have, then their schedule ought to be out. So Evans is way ahead of Van Dorn. They have this kind of, I think it's a dumb thing. But they show the gap to be a half a second. Oh, I forgot. I'm hungry. Anyway, I transitioned to a different event. I feel it's fine if, like Neil and Sifa, if y'all exit. I know Sifa wanted to get to bed. This is a different event, so I mean, don't feel like you have to hang out. I definitely transitioned to Formula E. Now this is only qualifying. I don't know how long this is. Probably 40 more minutes or 45 more minutes or something like that. I'm just guessing. There's 4, and then 2, and then 1. So there's 7 one-on-one races. Ugh. This is Rast and Dennis. Jake Dennis and Renee Rast. 93% for Dennis and 7% for Rast. Rast has been doing pretty well the last couple of races. And of course, my least favorite team, Andretti. Jake Dennis. I like Jake Dennis, okay. And he's really good. And he drives for Avalanche Andretti. But Michael Andretti's there this weekend. And it was like, oh, he wasn't planning on being here, but Jake's in the run. This is their final weekend. So the championship will be decided at the end of tomorrow night's race. So Michael need to, don his presence. I mean, I don't like the Andretti. I love Mario Andretti, and then all the other Andrettis I don't like. Except the gentleman that died of cancer. I liked him. He was a very nice guy. Very humble, talented. Michael sucked, and he never admitted it. He seems to be an okay owner, but not great. They don't. None of their teams are doing well, and he wants to get into Formula One. Come on, he can't even do the Indy car. And Jake Dennis. I guess they're showing the team principal, but they're not showing Michael Andretti for some reason. I don't know the players there. Formula E. Yeah, man. It's on CBS Sports app. Sometimes when it says that, they also mean CBS Sports TV, but it's not CBS Sports TV. It's CBS Sports app. So this is Dan Ticktum and Sebastian Buemi. Predictor vote 72% for Buemi, 28% to Ticktum. Ticktum has been surprisingly pretty good the last 4 to 5 races. But Neil generally is the bottom team. I don't know if they're 11th, but they're probably 9th, 10th, or 11th. Buemi, he's the winningest driver in Formula E, but he did it in the first 3 or 4 years, and this is year 9. And I think he's won either 0 times or once in the last 6 years. I think 0. And up until this year, during the 8th year, he had not changed teams. So he won a ton, never changed teams, and then they just disintegrated. They became a non-team for some reason. I don't know what happened. I did ask him once. And, it's one of those questions that, they don't want to hear and they don't want to answer, and then you don't want to ask. But I did. I said, how do you deal with being so successful the first couple of years and you're not doing much recently? He's always perplexed me. I kind of forget his nationality, but his nationality, which I don't know if that's the right word, but his nationality is like Finland or Swedish, I think Swedish or Scandinavia or something. But he doesn't look it. He looks Iranian or Iraqian, or he looks really harsh and really angry. And I don't know what they're supposed to look like, but anyway, this is their last weekend. It's a double header. There's a race today. There's a race tomorrow. So the race is from 12:03 to 13:30. So the race is in 3.5 hours or something. So that would be well after the Formula One. What's that? 10:30, 11:30. So this is 12:03. So yeah, 33 minutes later, this would start. So Cassidy is very close to Verline. They're not. They don't show a difference. We'll probably get an update. Bam. Okay, now there's a big difference. About a fourth of a second, 0.247. And it just went to 0.301. And I don't know how they figure that out. I think it's a doofus thing, but they do it. CBS Sports app. CBS Sports app. What is that? O2. There's a famous stadium of sorts in London. I think it's O2. I think famous concerts and it's a famous place. I think it's O2. And this race and I think this is the only place this has ever happened. 9 years, 12 to 16 different races every year, 10 to 14 different locations and countries. And this is the only time they do half indoor, half outdoor. So it goes through this stadium, like the basement kind of area or whatever. I don't know how they do that. Who's that? Avalanche. Wow. I like her. So Dennis advance, Evans advance, Cassidy advance, and Bueme. So it's Dennis against Evans and Cassidy versus Bueme. The first three are predictable. Bueme hasn't been doing really well recently, or in the last 5-7 years. But Dennis, Evans, Cassidy, Bueme. I bet Evans advances and Cassidy advances, but I'm just guessing. There's London Bridge. London Bridge is falling down, falling down. Nikki! She's so pretty. Is he with ABT? Who is he? Put his name under him. He's standing right in front of ABT, who I do believe is the last place team. Yep, they won't tell us who she's talking to. But it is Nikki. Karoon. I love him. Jules. Not everybody is from the UK, but everybody in this series calls it Jules. Why do they call it Jules? She's not from the UK. I don't know where she's from, but so I guess there's going to be team orders. Like Boeme can't beat the guy he's going against. Whew. I didn't think I would find it cool, but it is kind of cool that half the race is indoors because it's dark and they have spotlights. It's kind of weird. It's kind of wild to see the race. Why are they interviewing Dan Ticknam? Well, I guess he just lost. So he was in the final 8, but he's not in the final 4. I want to see who the teams are. I guess they're saying there's team orders. I didn't notice that Boeme was going against his teammate. I didn't notice that. Dan ticked him. He likes to take his shirt off, and he's not. No one is super muscular. I mean, some of them are. Sam Bird is very muscular, but generally they're not very muscular. But they're making fun of that he's going to go topless again. I want them to show the So they're right in front of Robert Fry's Island. Oh, they are both in Vision. Cassidy and Buemi are both in Vision. So Cassidy's in the run for the. So Buemi definitely has to not beat him. Dennis is 2-0 and 68% to 32%. I always like Mitch Evans, but Jake Dennis is doing really well. And again, he drives for Andretti. I hate Andretti, but I like Jake. He's okay. Green. There goes Dennis. Jake Dennis just went out. There's Michael Andretti. Evans might get green about soon. Green. Mitch Evans just got green. I don't know what that was. Probably 10, 15 minutes. I think it's 10, seconds. 10 or 15 seconds. I'm trying to figure out how to share my TikTok. I never know how to do those things. Evans looks like he's doing better. Mitch Evans. Yippee. I knew he was the better driver. Red Bull Andretti. Why is there a Red Bull hat in the Avalanche? Red Bull? Are they in bed with Andretti for Formula One? Ver is leading F2. Formula 2? Who's Ver? Not Verstappen. Ver. Ver is leading F2. You mean Formula 2? Formula. Oh, damn it. Cool. I'm on Formula 2. I'm trying to see. There's a Leclerc in Formula 2. For sure. The first Ver I found is Ver Sure. That's the first one I found. Looks like he's the one. But I can't find live time. There's live timing. I misspelt it. I think there's a C in there. Oh, wait, that's you. That's sure. It looks like live timing is going, but it's not showing anything. That's sure. Oh, the Leclerc is interesting. So Evans advanced, and now Cassidy and Buemi, but Buemi has to get team orders to not win, to make sure he doesn't win. Especially, I mean, there is no especially. He would always get that. Yeah, there's a C. Verschhoor, or at least according to the Formula 2 website. Yeah, I don't anyway, sorry, I don't have that going anywhere. Well, they milk these interviews. I don't like their qualifications. It seems too bulky and I guess I'm just waiting for the poll. So we still have two more races. The two, oh golly, is that showing the winner already? I guess Cassidy did already win. They haven't shown it on TV yet. Nick Cassidy and Mitch Evans. is the qualifying duel final. Yeah, because of delay, we haven't seen Cassidy win yet. Mitch Evans has a grid penalty. From Rome. Nick Cassidy will definitely be on pole whether he wins or not. So bizarre, these things. So drivers championship: Jake Dennis 195, Nick Cassidy 171, Mitch Evans 151, Pascal 146. I don't know how many points could be made in two races, but I'm sure they're all within winning. I didn't see fifth. I didn't see what points was fifth. Formula E's car look kind of pretty high tech now. They look like rockets. I've watched them since day one. 6 months before they had their first race, I was watching them. Nick Cassidy versus Evans. Evans 52%, Cassidy 48%. That's pretty close. They're both from Australia or New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand. I didn't know they both were. I know the Australian flag and the New Zealand flag are kind of close. They kind of have the UK flag in it, and the four. One has like 5 stars and one has 3 stars or something. I don't know the difference. I keep looking it up and I keep studying it and then I keep forgetting. I've never been to Australia or New Zealand, but I love Australia and New Zealand, and I love drivers. There's a lot of them in all the series, so I generally cheer for them. So they just took off. Hoo, hoo, hoo. All packed up and headed to Nashville. Is that motorsports? I think it is. Someone scraped the wall or almost did. Cassidy's ahead by their little doohickey thing that goes up and down. I like Mitch Evans. I don't know Nick Cassidy well enough yet. $110.604 for Cassidy. Evans swung back. But yeah, I don't think that's real accurate. That he just barely got it. 22 thousandths. Mitch Evans. Woohoo. Well, that's it. Mitch Evans got the pole for later today. All right. Now I really am going. Okay, Neil, if you're still around, thank you for being here for that long time. Sitha, if you're still around, thank you. And, whether you are or not, thank you and stuff. And yeah, I'm going to head out. Thank you so much. And there's a lot. Cheers. Thanks, man. You too. Thanks for poking and prodding me for the sprint shootout this morning. All right, man. Lots going on. I didn't print up any schedules this weekend. Didn't do anything. I'm certainly slacking on some things. So, okay. Take care, Joe. Thanks, Neil. You too. So end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. And then I got to hit it again. So end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Bye.